7 Psychological Tricks to Stop Overthinking Fast. Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, replaying a conversation from earlier in the day, wondering if you said the wrong thing or if someone secretly judged you? Maybe you've caught yourself stuck in a loop of what-ifs, analyzing every possibility, trying to predict an outcome that hasn't even happened yet. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Overthinking is something so many of us struggle with, especially in a world that never stops moving. Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about something that quietly steals your peace of mind and drains your mental energy: overthinking. But more importantly, we'll explore 7 powerful psychological tricks to stop overthinking fast, based entirely on real psychological research and insights into how the mind works. These aren't just tips. They're tools to help you regain control of your thoughts, calm your mind, and make decisions with clarity. Let's take a deep breath and begin. Overthinking is, at its core, the brain's way of trying to protect you. When we replay events or worry about what's ahead, it's not because we're weak or broken. It's because our minds are wired for survival. Thousands of years ago, overthinking helped humans anticipate danger. But today, that same mechanism turns inward, causing anxiety, indecision, and mental exhaustion. The good news is, you can train your mind to break this cycle. Let's explore 7 psychological tricks that can help you do just that. 1. The name it to tame it technique. One of the most powerful ways to stop overthinking comes from clinical psychology: naming your thoughts. When you feel your mind spiraling, pause and label what's happening. You might say, "I'm worrying about the future," or "I'm replaying that moment again." Why does this help? According to research by UCLA neuroscientist Matthew Lieberman, when you name an emotion or thought, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the rational, thinking part of your brain, and calm down the amygdala, which handles fear and emotional responses. It's like shifting from being inside the storm to watching it from the outside. You create a tiny gap between you and your thoughts, a moment of awareness that weakens their power. Next time you feel stuck in a loop, just pause and name what's happening. That simple act tells your brain, "I'm in control now." 2. Set a worry window. Overthinkers often try to not think about something, and ironically, that only makes the thought louder. Psychologists call this the ironic rebound effect. The more you suppress a thought, the stronger it returns. A clever psychological trick to counter this is to schedule your overthinking, literally. Choose a specific time of day, say 7 p.m., as your worry window. Whenever a thought tries to invade your peace early in the day, tell yourself, "I'll think about that later." When 7 p.m. arrives, sit down and actually allow yourself to think about it for 10 to 15 minutes. Often, you'll find that many worries no longer feel as urgent or even relevant. This technique works because it gives your brain permission to process thoughts, but within healthy boundaries. You train your mind to separate thinking from overthinking. 3. The 5-4-3-2-1 grounding reset. When overthinking spirals out of control, your body reacts as if there's real danger: heart racing, muscles tense, breathing shallow. In that moment, you need to bring your awareness back to now. The 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique is a simple psychological tool to do just that. Here's how it works. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. It sounds simple, but it's deeply effective. It activates your senses and pulls you focus out of your head and into the present. By shifting your attention from thinking to feeling, you deactivate the anxious mental loop and remind your nervous system that you're safe. Overthinking feeds on abstraction. This technique starves it with reality. 4. Reframe what if into what is. Overthinkers often live in a world of what ifs. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if I make the wrong choice? But the truth is, what ifs are mental illusions. They pull your focus into an imagined future and disconnect you from the present. To fight this, try this psychological reframe. Every time you catch yourself saying, "What if?" consciously replace it with "what is." For example, "What if I fail?" becomes "What is true right now?" Maybe the truth is that you're trying your best, that you're learning, that failure hasn't even happened yet. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, teaches that thoughts are not facts. When you challenge them with what is, you anchor yourself back in reality and reduce anxiety's grip. 5. Use the thought parking lot method. Imagine your brain as a parking lot. Each worry or idea is a car trying to pull in. When you're overthinking, your mental parking lot is jammed. Every spot is taken. Psychologists recommend writing your thoughts down instead. When you put them on paper, you give them a parking spot outside your head. Research shows that expressive writing lowers stress and helps the brain process unresolved emotions. You can write your thoughts on sticky notes, in a journal, or even your phone's notes app. The key is this: once you've written it, you don't need to keep it in your head. You've parked it. Your mind can rest. 6. Practice cognitive diffusion. This concept comes from acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, a psychological approach that teaches you to detach from your thoughts instead of fighting them. Cognitive diffusion means noticing your thoughts for what they are, just words and images passing through your mind, not absolute truths. Here's a trick. When a negative thought pops up, add the phrase, "I'm having the thought that," in front of it. For example, instead of "I'm not good enough," say, "I'm having the thought that I'm not good enough." That small shift reminds you that you're not your thoughts. You're the observer of them. This creates emotional distance and frees you from over-identifying with mental noise. You'll begin to see that thoughts come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky. You don't have to chase them. 7. Focus on the next small action. One of the biggest fuels for overthinking is inaction. When you stay still, your brain fills the silence with endless analysis. But the moment you take even the smallest step, your focus shifts from rumination to movement. This is grounded in behavioral activation, a concept in psychology that shows how action precedes motivation, not the other way around. So instead of thinking about everything that could go wrong, ask, what's one small thing I can do right now? Maybe it's sending that email, taking a short walk, or just drinking a glass of water. Each small action builds momentum, quiets mental chatter, and reinforces your sense of control. Remember, clarity doesn't come before action. It's created by action. Overthinking doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. It means your brain cares deeply about outcomes, about people, about getting things right. But you deserve peace too. When you practice these 7 psychological techniques, you're retraining your brain to trust itself again. You're teaching your mind that safety doesn't come from control. It comes from presence. So next time your thoughts start spinning, pause, breathe, and remind yourself, I don't need to figure it all out right now. You are allowed to rest your mind. You are allowed to be here, in this moment, fully and freely. If this video resonated with you, please take a moment to like it. It truly helps the channel grow and reach others who might need this message. Share it with someone who tends to overthink or could use a gentle reminder to slow down. And if you'd like more psychology-based content on self-awareness, relationships, and mental well-being, subscribe to stay connected. You're not your thoughts. You're the calm behind them. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember, peace of mind isn't something you find, it's something you train. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.